Korra is dead. The four nations now herald the new avatar named Luan as their new bringer of balance. What they don't know, however, is that Luan is actually a fake avatar and that the real avatar is a sandbender named Genji living far out in the deserts of the Earth Federation. But it's not exactly that simple. So let's break down The Legend of Genji Episode 1 and why it could be massive for the future of Avatar. So before we dive into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and let's break it down. So the story begins in the capital of the new Earth Federation, Ba Sing Se. The Earth Federation formed in the aftermath of Kuvira's failed coup and the failure of the Earth Empire. Things are totally different to how they were during the time of Avatar Korra. Having witnessed the failed rise of Kuvira, Avatar Korra and Prince Wu chose to establish a brand new government, breaking up the Earth Kingdom into a federation of states, with separate leaders for each one. Unfortunately though, the first round of elections held for the Earth Federation resulted in huge companies and the wealthy elite taking power. As a result of this and the people who were put in charge, the president of the Earth Federation decided to invade the Siwong Desert to plunder its rich oil and resources, causing huge strife among the local sandbender communities, which also happens to be the location of the real avatar in hiding, Genji. Either way, this brings us to Ba Sing Se, where huge crowds of people have gathered around, waiting for the arrival of one man. The Dai Li have been adapted, this time to serve as security for the man and to protect him from external threats. This one person is Avatar Luan, the false avatar. The White Lotus named him the Avatar at only the age of 6, which is pretty early from what we already know. It's usually at about the age of 16, except in the case of Aang because of the war, but unbeknownst to them, they have it all wrong. Luan is not really the Avatar, or at least as far as we know. This is based on background information, we don't have the full story yet. Things could change, things could evolve, so we'll just have to see where the story goes. And I do have to say, it looks like the technology of the Avatar world is on the same rapid acceleration pace as our own world. Because the cars are starting to look more modern, they have full TV cameras and microphones and even modernized lighting. The Legend of Korra was based around 1920s New York, and I'd probably say this is approaching the early Cold War era. Inside of his personal car, Avatar Luan is excited to see the crowd gathering for him, not expecting so many people to care. With him is his personal security, the White Lotus. They still pretty much kind of serve the same role as they did in The Legend of Korra. The White Lotus prepared the young false avatar for his appearance to the media, and they begin their journey to the nearby earthbending training area. The reporters of the Earth Federation begin to mob the young boy with questions and when he may start his firebending training, but shockingly, the avatar now has a press secretary, ready to block any uncomfortable questions. So there's just another evolution of the avatar's role. After this, we cut into the city of Jinsha, where a young boy and his father are working in their shop, watching the media report on this young avatar Luan. Many sandbender tribes were forcibly moved here by the Earth Federation government after its formation. You'll probably notice that this is literally on a nationwide broadcast across the Earth Kingdom. Yes, it is still black and white, but widespread TV access tells us that we're much further forward in the timeline than in The Legend of Korra. The young boy inside is watching the TV when suddenly a dirty, oil-soaked rag covers his eyes. This comes from his father telling him to get back to work in the shop. The young boy agrees, but is kind of annoyed that only 3 months away from the big city and everyone is acting like the avatar came back from the dead. And at this point, of course, nobody knows that Luan is not actually the true avatar. The young boy continues complaining about how much he hates the avatar, and his father asks him if he's going to keep blabbing on about all of this avatar crush or actually get some work done. The young boy answers back by saying, the avatar wouldn't last a day out here. Those from up north in Ba Sing Se live completely differently from the peasant class in the south, but the father is happy with what he has and says that Jinsha isn't so bad for people like them. He basically tells his son to appreciate what he has and not wish for more. The young boy, however, doesn't buy it and wants to get out of Jinsha as soon as possible. He wants to see more of the world than this little corner. And at this point we get the reveal that this young boy is named Genji. If you've been following some of the story content around The Legend of Genji, you'll know that he ends up being someone very important, let's just say that. This story honestly has so much potential, so I'd love to hear where you think it's going to go in the comments down below. After this, a friend of Genji's dad enters the shop and teases the young boy for wanting to visit the big city. His dad joins in on the teasing, but they both ultimately come to the sad conclusion that a peasant sandbender like him would never make it in the big city. And let me just say that I think this guy could be related to the Cabbage Man and his son who ran Cabbage Industries in The Legend of Korra. I don't know, just something about the face reminds me of Cabbage Man and his family. And that's pretty much where the first chapter of The Legend of Genji comes to an end. What do you think will happen next? Will Genji eventually figure out his true lineage? Let me know in the comments down below and I'll be sure to continue covering this awesome series. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.